Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Ron Sparkman from UpportunityU.com, and today we have a very cool Christmas-themed interview. We've got our friend in the house today from NORAD Tracks Santa. We have Preston with us today, and I will not try and say your last name because it's a very cool last name, but I don't know that I would say it right. So if you want to introduce yourself and tell everybody who you are from NORAD Tracks Santa and kind of give them a bit of an intro maybe about yourself.
Oh, great. Well, yes, my name is Preston Schlachter. I work with the NORAD Tracks Santa program. And very happy to be speaking with you today to educate everybody a little bit more about the program and what we do at NORAD.
That's it's really an incredible story that you guys have, how this all got started, and there's quite a few people that know it. Actually, one of our watchers, Neil Wilson, really is blown away by the story of how this all came about. So could you tell us a little bit about how NORAD Tracks Santa got started and the story behind it, the history?
Yeah, that'd be great. It is a neat story, and we've been tracking Santa for 61 years now, and it truly is a tradition that happened by accident. Back in 1955, there was a local newspaper ad that had a misprinted phone number, and that phone number dialed right into the Continental Air Defense Command Operations Center. The colonel on duty, who was the commander at the time, played along with it, realizing what had happened, and the calls kept coming in, and he assured every caller that night that CONAD would monitor Santa's travels and ensure him a safe journey back to the North Pole.
That's kind of a fantastic thing. So you never know. It's a happy accident, I guess we'll say.
Yeah.
That's become this really big thing, and so NORAD Tracks Santa is really an interesting use of technology. So can you tell us a little bit about how you guys use NORAD to be able to follow Santa?
Sure. Well, NORAD's technology that we use to track Santa is the same technology we use every day, 24/7, 365, to protect the skies over North America. And we do this by geosynchronous satellites, ground-based radars, an array of fighter aircraft for both Canada and the United States Air Forces, as well as our special Santa cams that are operated only on the evening of the 24th.
That's and with it being Christmas time, we're all really excited about it. And I know personally, whenever I was growing up, I used to watch NORAD Tracks Santa on the news, and that's how I knew it was time to go to bed. Santa's coming, Santa's on the way. So that was really kind of one of the big things for me growing up. And so now people have all these different ways. I had to see it on the news, but now there's an app even for it. So can you tell us a little bit about the features of the app and maybe how it differs from what you guys have had, what you've given us access to in the past?
Well, we have apps on every app store that with a very similar look and feel to the website, so the users won't really notice much difference between the two, and they all have the same capabilities. You're able to access information about Santa's whereabouts. You're able to access the tracker to see how many days it is until he actually takes off from the North Pole. There's daily games that you can access through the app as well as the website, and watch our YouTube channel and listen to Christmas music as well.
Yeah, and that's really the cool thing is that so many of us had, it was just the news, and now it's got apps. There's an app for that. There's an app for Santa, for tracking Santa. So you gotta love that one. So what other ways can fans across the country kind of be involved with tracking Santa? You mentioned the website and the YouTube channel, but is there anything else that really they could do to be involved with what you guys do? You mentioned the call center too.
Yeah. Well, the call center is only available on the 24th,
Mm-hmm.
and that starts at 4 in the morning Mountain Time. That we'll start taking calls at the call center. But until then, aside from the apps and aside from the website, we also have a host of social media. So you can follow us on Facebook. You can like us on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
We also have a new Instagram account this year. So we're trying to reach out, and those will provide information to all of our users and fans as to some of the cool things they may not have realized either about the program or about NORAD.
And that's really kind of the cool that you guys are using all those social media avenues to kind of get out there. And the phone calls, the phone service is still something very popular. Actually, today we're at the Space Foundation, and one of the volunteers that's here, Jeff Ganya, he has worked it before and said it's an amazing way to be involved and talk with everybody about Santa. And he's on his way. So it's cool that we have all these different avenues now that you guys can kind of get into. So what is something that's cool about the program that maybe people don't know?
Oh man, there's so many different aspects to it. So you talk about the call center,
Mm-hmm.
Our NORAD Tracks Santa Operations Center. We have 1,500 volunteers throughout the course of a 23-hour period that are answering those phones from around the world. So we're averaging about 100 calls a minute. So last year we had over 140,000 calls in that time span.
Wow.
So it's a massive amount of people calling in, and it's tremendous fun, and it's a great holiday spirit throughout the entire call center. It's pretty amazing.
And it's been around so long, and it's a tradition for so many of us. And it's amazing now to see. I remember when I was growing up, and now I can be involved with it, and so can really anybody else. And I know you guys are always looking for help on that, and you're always doing so much. Next up, what we have is the questions from our audience back home. Out there in the social media world. So the first question is, what are Santa's average and top speeds? And this comes from Josh Knowles. Actually, the next three questions come from Josh. So okay. What are Santa's average and top speeds?
Well, that's a great question, Josh. Well, we can't really tell just how fast he's flying because he's flying faster than Starlight. I mean, you kind of think of what he has to travel in order to cover all the homes in the world in a 24-hour period. It's an amazing speed that he has to maintain. So he's doing that faster than we can even tell, and we can't track his true speed. But we do know that when he flies over some locations, especially those in North America and some of those Santa Cam locations, we can catch him in that instant and actually see him for a little bit before he is topping out at his max speed again. And
no surprise to anybody, Santa breaks the laws of physics because he's Santa and he does what he wants, which is, that's great. So is Santa's sleigh equipped with any high-tech collision avoidance or advanced maneuverability gear or capabilities? That was a mouthful. So that's another one from Josh. So is there anything, any sort of advanced tech that Santa's using to maybe?
We don't know exactly what kind of tech he has, but he's obviously a good pilot. He's never had any track record or even history of having any collisions with buildings, aircraft, or of the sort. So he must be doing something right, whether it's an incredible amount of skill or some incredible radar capabilities to maneuver around things.
So he knows if you're naughty or you're nice, and he also is aware that of who's flying when. So that's really good. So the last question that we have from Josh is he wants to know, how do aircraft controllers coordinate with Santa's flyovers to avoid unwanted collisions? We know that Santa's good at it, but what are they kind of doing? Is there any tactics that you think that they use to be able to kind of make sure that Santa doesn't have any mishaps throughout the night?
Well, sure. Well, we know Santa's route is
erratic.
Erratic, yeah, exactly. Yeah. But we do know when he's going to be in a certain area, and that tends to be between 9 p.m. and midnight in any particular region. So I'm not knowing exactly how the FAA or the flight controllers monitor his whereabouts, but they do. I would think that they'd be able to at least pinpoint within a time range of when he might be in the area and be able to work around it.
That's excellent. That's not the only thing that's really in the sky that Santa might have to look out for. How could NORAD possibly help Santa avoid comets and meteors? And this question comes from Robert Hoffman.
Well, that comes from the same technology we use to track Santa. We'd be able to track any kind of airborne hazards. So if there were such a hazard to be in the vicinity, we'd be able to tell them right away to avoid that.
See, we're looking out for Santa. That's very very important. Next up, we have Jonathan Edwards, and he wants to know what Santa's protection measures might include, and would one of those be Rudolph having a laser in his red nose? Which is, I think I kind of love that question myself. Do you think Rudolph's part of the plan? Is Rudolph part of the security plan?
Well, don't know for sure, but he's definitely part of the guidance system.
Yep. that done. Perfect answer. The next big one, actually, a few people asked this. Both Jonathan and Robert wanted to know, and I'm actually really sure everybody else wants to know this too. Do you think Santa has ever had an encounter with ET?
That'd be classified.
No, so we'll leave that one alone. So that's it for the readers' questions. And so while we're on the topic of NORAD Tracks Santa, I've been involved. We've been lucky enough at UpportunityU that we're involved with the space certification program, and so is NORAD Tracks Santa. That's actually how we got set up today, and we're actually here at the Space Foundation. So while we're here, we wanted to take advantage of the situation, and we want to bring in Rebecca Williams. She's the Space Awareness Program Coordinator, and she works with both UpportunityU and NORAD Tracks Santa. So we want to welcome her in. She's going to slide in. See, she's doing her little slide, and we just want to ask her a couple quick questions and see how all of us are kind of involved in kind of really how we work together. So can you tell us a bit about the partnership between NORAD Tracks Santa and the certification program, and kind of how you guys work together?
Well, most everybody knows that the Space Foundation has a great relationship with Air Force Space Command out at Peterson.
Mm-hmm.
And someone out there in 2007 mentioned to the director of the space awareness programs at the time about NORAD Tracks Santa, and said, you really need to you need to get involved with them. They're a great bunch of folks out there. So the director, Kevin Cook, at the time, he contacted the PR people out at NORAD Tracks Santa, and it's been a beautiful relationship ever since.
And it really is. It's one of those things. Whenever you look at the space certification program, it really does run the gamut of the spectrum of what can be involved with the space certification program. What's been inspired by space, what's been created for space, and how that kind of changes our daily lives. Everything from education to I'm part of the imagination. Our team it's part of the imagination group, and the technology really that's out there. Everything from Tempur-Pedic beds to it's part of keeping our everyday lives excited. And a big part of that program is the Space Technology Hall of Fame, and you've got the 30th year coming up, and I know it's going to be a big one. It's going to be during the Space Symposium, the big Hall of Fame dinner. So if you're not coming to the symposium, you don't have your tickets yet, you need to make sure you need to do that. So we want to get like a little bit of details about this the big event, because I know you've been working hard on it.
Yes. So 2017 will be the 30th year of excellence for the Space Technology Hall of Fame. We have recognized innovators and organizations directly resulting in technology that was originally developed for space exploration internationally. DLR, ESA, JAXA, all involved in creating technology developed for space, and then transforming it into products that we use every day. And we like to say that these technologies are for the betterment of the quality of life here on Earth. The 30th year, we're going to do some great celebrating with some of our past inductees. And if you feel like that you have a technology that's worthy of, you can always contact us at sthof@spacefoundation.org and nominate your technology for Space Technology Hall of Fame induction.
Mm-hmm.
But we have chosen, and it's top secret right now, but we have chosen our 2017 inductees, and we'll make a formal announcement early January.
That's awesome. So everybody, make sure to keep in touch and check on the website. So many people, they often talk about why do we spend the money on space that we do, and a lot of people realize that for every dollar we invest in space, especially with NASA, it brings $7 to $14 per dollar back to the economy. Helps us kind of get out there in those crazy technologies that, all right, how are we going to sleep in space? How are we going to use a bathroom in space? Those cool things get to come back, and we kind of get to see a different way that they get to affect our lives. And that's really what the space certification program really kind of helps us to do. And that's one of the reasons that we love, I love being involved in it, and so does NORAD Tracks Santa. So we really appreciate you hopping in for a moment, Rebecca. And we've got a couple more questions to finish up with Preston today. And then, we're going to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. But before we go, now that it's Christmas time, what are you guys looking at as you head into the last few days before Santa comes? What do you guys have coming up that maybe we can all be involved in now?
Well, I'd encourage everyone to continue following the website, following all our social media, because we try to have some did you know kind of posts.
Mm-hmm.
One of the cool things about the website is that it's not just about tracking Santa, and it's not just about being entertaining, but it's also supposed to be educational.
Yeah.
So we definitely want people to know more about our organization at NORAD, but we're also striving to tell people more about the holiday traditions in other countries, and we're trying to do that through our website. So we put out new links on our social media to kind of direct people to those locations to learn a little bit more about the locations that celebrate Santa,
Mm-hmm.
and as well as more about us.
Well, you guys, you can go on any app store and you can download the app. But for those that may not have access to the social media, what are the social media sites and what's the website where everybody can check you guys out?
Great. Well, the website's www.noradsanta.org. The phone number for the 24th is the 1-877-HI-NORAD. And our social media sites, we have Facebook, we have Twitter, we have YouTube channel, Google Plus, and also Instagram.
And what's the @ for if they want to follow you? NORAD,
Sure.
Just NORAD Tracks Santa?
Yeah, at NORAD Santa.
At NORAD Santa. So there you have it, guys. If you want to follow them, check out the app. Everybody's going to be able to follow them. You know, we're in the last few days before Christmas. Santa's on the way. So we want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas from us at UpportunityU and our friends that were joined us today from NORAD Tracks Santa and from everybody at the Space Foundation. We hope you guys have a Merry Christmas. Make sure you follow Santa and grab the app, and we will see you guys on the next episode.